All right, picture this. The servers have just crashed, the alarms are blaring, and your Slack is absolutely exploding. Look, your technical ability to fix the problem is obviously vital, but your ability to write about that problem in calm, professional English, that is what actually builds trust with your executives and your customers. In today's explainer, we're going to treat communication exactly like we treat code, templated, structured, and completely reliable.
It's a crazy fact, but during a crisis, managing human panic is honestly just as urgent as fixing the technical glitch. Industry research from incident management leaders proves this point over and over. If users are left in the dark, they will assume the absolute worst. Even if you fix a database timeout in record time, poor communication shatters their trust.
Here is our game plan for today. We'll cover why this is a career-defining skill, break down the perfect 5-part update structure, master a calm tone, navigate some common English pitfalls, and then finally we'll run through a live incident scenario.
So jumping right into Section 1, a career-defining IT skill. You literally cannot effectively debug a server while simultaneously writing updates for the CEO. The cognitive load just doesn't mix. This is what's known as the decoupling principle. You absolutely must separate the operations lead, the person applying the fix, from the communications lead, who acts as the public face of the response.
To control the blast radius of an outage and keep everyone focused, it always comes down to the 3 C's. You coordinate your teams, you communicate to prevent information vacuums, and you control the response to eliminate uncoordinated rogue system changes. Keeping these 3 pillars in mind sets the perfect stage for the updates we're about to write.
Moving on to Section 2, the perfect 5-part structure. Let's map out the exact anatomy of a flawless status update.
Every single update you write during an outage must check off these 5 boxes, period. First, the timestamp and status. When is this happening and what phase are we in? Second, what happened? A super brief, non-blaming description. Third, current impact. Who exactly is affected? Fourth, what we're doing. The active steps being taken right now. And finally, the ETA. When will they hear from you next? If you miss even one of these, you create an information vacuum, and I guarantee your executives will start blowing up your inbox.
Section 3. Mastering a calm tone.
Having the right structure is great, but the psychology of your tone is huge. Think about reading, "We think there might be an issue, and we are probably looking into it." Yikes, right? When executives read weak hedge words like that, their anxiety absolutely skyrockets. Confidence doesn't mean guaranteeing an instant fix. It means showing you have a robust process. Stating, "We have identified a specific configuration error and have initiated a rollback," shows you are entirely in the driver's seat.
And whatever you do, never hide behind vagueness. If you just say, "Some users are having some issues," literally 100% of your users will assume it's them. By explicitly stating, approximately 20% of users in the EU West region are receiving 500 errors, you instantly relieve the anxiety of the other 80%. Transparency is the absolute foundation of trust here.
All right, Section 4, avoiding common English pitfalls, especially for global IT teams.
Mixing up these 2 words is the single biggest semantic failure in IT support, and it can actually cause your technical team to stand down prematurely. Mitigated means you stopped the bleeding, like maybe you failed over to a backup server, but the primary database is still broken. Resolved means everything is 100% back to normal. You have to use these words with surgical precision.
Now, it might seem super minor to drop an article, like saying "service experienced interruption" instead of "the service has experienced an interruption," or mixing up "in" and "on." But these small ESL mistakes chip away at your professional authority during a high-stakes crisis. Research actually shows that listeners struggle to absorb details when grammar is slightly off, simply because they have to work harder to parse the sentence. Taking an extra 10 seconds to nail your articles, prepositions, and subjects makes your update sound infinitely more authoritative.
Also, watch out for verb tense slippage. Shifting tenses in the middle of a sentence makes it completely impossible for readers to follow the timeline of your actions. Think about it. If you say, "We fixed it," the reader thinks the incident is over. But if the system is actually still down because the fix is deploying, you've just destroyed your credibility. Keep your timeline logical. We have found the error, and we are currently deploying a fix.
Moving into Section 5, let's run a live scenario with a payment gateway outage.
Okay, every minute counts here. We're going to trace a major incident across 4 rapid progression phases: investigating, identified, monitoring, and resolved. We'll draft a live update for each phase, utilizing our 5-part structure and maintaining that calm, authoritative tone. Let's dive in.
For the investigating phase, an update like, "We are investigating the payment issue and will update soon," is a recipe for disaster. It basically guarantees your support desk will be flooded with panicky tickets. Contrast that with the perfect update, which strictly follows our 5-part structure to immediately establish order. It has the status, the exact timestamp, the precise impact of 500 users, what we are currently doing, analyzing logs, and exactly when the next update will come. Night and day, right?
Now we move to the identified phase. Avoid broad, unprofessional phrasing like, "We make a fix now for the DB." Instead, opt for precise, professional vocabulary. Something like, "We isolated a database timeout error. We are currently scaling the database instances." See how much more authoritative that sounds? We've upgraded the status to identified, briefly explained the issue without blaming anyone, stated the active steps, and reset the clock for the next update. Textbook incident communication.
Okay, this is absolutely crucial. When things seem fixed, don't jump the gun and say, "It is resolved." This is the exact moment where you must use the monitoring phase. If you declare it resolved and the system crashes again 2 minutes later, you look incredibly foolish. Tell your stakeholders you've applied the fix, tell them the metrics look good, but hold the line and monitor it. This proves you are cautious and thorough.
Finally, the resolved phase. Don't just type "done" and walk away from the keyboard. Closing the loop professionally shows your stakeholders that the crisis is truly over and that a blameless learning culture is actively improving the system. Confirm the impact is 0, use the word "resolved" properly, and mention the post-incident review. This turns a highly stressful negative outage into a really positive demonstration of your team's reliability.
So, to solidify what we've built today, here is your definitive checklist. Remember to separate the fixing from the communicating. Always rely on that 5-part template so you don't miss anything. Ditch the hedge words for active, confident verbs. Ensure you never confuse mitigated with resolved, and ultimately, remember that your words are literally a tool used to control the blast radius of human panic.
At the end of the day, incident management is fundamentally a communication problem masquerading as a technical one. Your code might be elegant and your troubleshooting might be lightning fast, but it's your communication that people are actually going to remember. So I'll leave you with this. If your system fails tomorrow, will your communication build trust or will it pour gasoline on the fire?